Hi, friends, and welcome back to Talks with Tiante. To all of my new visitors, come on in, baby. Let's grow better. Okay. So, on today's episode, y'all, we are going to be talking about one of my favorite things to talk about. It's friendship. I love my friends. Okay. Shout out to all my girls, all my guys. I love y'all. I hope y'all are doing good today. I'll call y'all later. All right. So, friendship is one thing to have good friends. All right. But it's another thing to be a good friend. So we want to talk about, are you a good friend? Like, have you ever truly asked yourself if you're a good friend? Because if you haven't, maybe you should. You should be asking yourself all the time, am I a good friend? Am I a good daughter? Am I a good wife? Am I a good mother? Am I a good whatever role you play? Ask yourself, are you a good person? We already talked last week about who are you? And I hope you've been thinking about who you really are, who you are when nobody's watching. So now we're going to address, are you a good friend? Um, we're titling this episode The ABCs of Friendships. All right? Come on, because we need to learn. All right. So I'm sure somebody is watching saying, of course, I'm a good friend, girl. What you mean? I'm the bomb.com. Okay. Maybe y'all don't talk like that, but I'm a little old school, so leave me alone. All right. Um, and really, you can say all of that, and then the whole time you be self-centered. Because that's not a good friend, babe. You be selfish a little bit because we need to be selfish, but not self-centered all the time. When you're in a friendship, you need to care about your friend, right? Right. Okay. So I'm gonna give you what I believe are the basics to a good friendship. But first, here's a new session that I would like to call Girl, a Good Read. Okay. And no, I'm not talking about reading somebody for filth. See, here's the urban slang. I'm talking about a good book. All right. A lot of people I've been seeing lately are asking for book recommendations online. So I thought, if we're growing better, why not go ahead and read? Babe, you need to be reading. Okay. So extend that vocabulary, achieve a better vernacular, if you will. So on today's session of A Good Read, the title of this book, y'all want to tell you, I loved this book. I loved reading it, and I think I might have read it in like a day or two. I don't know. Anyway, but this book is called Dear Sonali, Letters to the Daughter I Never Had by Judge Lynn Toller. Now, I love me some Judge Lynn Toller, baby. That divorce court used to go off. I'm mad when they took her off, but we ain't gonna talk about that right now. Um, yeah, so in this book, she writes to us as the mother who never got the chance to have a daughter because she had six sons. That's a lot. Six boys. I got one boy. Baby, I don't want to do that six times. So she always wanted a daughter because she had a really wonderful relationship with her mother, whom she refers to in this book as Duchess. I think she says her children refer to her as Duchess, so that's what she refers to her as in this book. However, anyway, her mother gave her great lessons in life, and she wanted to do the same for many women around the world who wanted to be better in just every aspect that you could think of. So, to all of the women who never received lessons on how to be better or what to do in the workplace, how to be better there, how to prosper in life in general, she has written this book for us. Yes, for us. Okay. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to read a brief excerpt. Oh my God, I cannot words today. What is wrong with me, y'all? Excerpt. So here it is. It says, don't say soft, unfocused things like I need to do better or I'm working on it. Be specific. You have to name them, claim them, then look straight at them so you can see how deep and how wide they are. And yes, I'm going back to this again. Write it down. Make a list. Once you have your list together, pick an issue. Then pick a day and decide just for that day you won't succumb. Write, not today, in ink on your hand if you have to. Do whatever it takes, but make it through that one day in charge of that specific one thing. If it doesn't work on Tuesday, try it again on Wednesday. Make it a game. See how long you can last. Then hold yourself accountable. Reward yourself if you get somewhere. No need to punish yourself if you don't, though. You tried. That's better than what you were doing before, just living with it. All right, y'all. That's my excerpt from Dear Sonali, Letters to the Daughter I Never Had by Judge Lynn Toller. Now, let's get into different aspects of being a good friend. These different aspects look different for men and women because, as we know, men have different relationships than women. They show their love differently, and that is perfectly fine. All right. So let's jump right on in. We'll talk about A for active listening. Oh, this is a big one, y'all. This is a big one. This looks like hearing what they do and don't say when it comes to characteristics of people, hobbies, their jobs, their personal lives, who they love, who they don't, little small things that they hate, those types of things. When having conversations, you should be giving your undivided attention. We all know how it feels when we're speaking and someone isn't even looking at us, right? Do you know how you feel when somebody is on their phone and you're trying to tell them something extremely important? So why would you do that? And we have to be more self-conscious about doing these things, okay? We've all done it. We've all had it done to us. Be more conscious and at actively listening. Hearing them say they really wanted something for their birthday, or they just randomly say, I really want, I don't know, a strawberry cupcake candle, but, I'll get it another time. Active listening is putting that in the back of your brain and saying, okay, she said she want a strawberry cupcake candle. I'm gonna get that for her birthday. It's next week anyway. Why not? Listen to how they sound when they're in their different emotions. Because a lot of times I know we as women, and a lot of men do this as well, we won't tell you verbally, I'm upset about X, Y, and Z. If we're really good communicators, we will. But most people, they'll just huff and puff, have an attitude with you about something that ain't got nothing to do with you because they're angry. Learn their habits when they're in their different emotions, when they're sad, when they're frustrated, when they're happy. You can kind of slight to it by saying, you seem to be in a really good mood today. Girl, what's going on? Share the good news. Or, I see you're not really yourself today or lately, however long you've noticed it because you've been actively listening. All right, how long they've been going through these things and just say, hey, I noticed you haven't really been yourself lately. Do you want to talk about anything? Do you want to vent? Do you need me to be there for you in any capacity? Because I'm here, girl. I got you, right? For a lot of men, it just be like, they look at him like, dang, my homie ain't been out with us in about 3 weeks, bro. Every time we try to get with him, he don't want to ball. He don't want to play the game. He don't want to go out. He don't want to go to the bar no more. Like, what's up with homie? And most men will reach out on a different type of level and say, hey man, you want to come out? And he'd be like, no. And then that's your cue, guys, to say, shoot, what's up, man? You good? You straight? That's how black men like to talk to their friends. So they be like, man, you good? You straight? You all right? You need some help, bro? Like, I got you, I can spot you, whatever. So that's what active listening looks like. It's paying attention and inserting yourself to assist your friend when they're going through these different emotions. Um, Active listening also requires you to ask the right questions. My question that I ask my friends are, do you want to vent to me or do you want me to give you a response and feedback? Let me know. Okay. And a lot of times when I have large emotions or feelings or am going through something, I always say, do you have the capacity to deal with an issue that I might have right now? Do you have the time? How are you feeling first? But I'm not just going to dump on you. So that's just giving a little bit of care for your friends, which we'll get to later. So bringing an issue up in a conversation that they've mentioned to you and asking them how they feel about it can show that you're listening and that you care. You could say something like, earlier you mentioned fill in the blank happened. How do you feel about that? How is your mental about this? What do you have to say about it? That shows that you are listening to something they said either earlier today or last week or whenever, but you were listening and you were active and present in the moment. I think a lot of times, especially in this social media society, that we are attempting to be multi-talented by multitasking. And a lot of us are not good at multitasking. Let's be real. Babe, you can't even walk and be on your phone at the same time. Come on. You think you can listen and be on social media at the same time? Be real. So again, listen and be in the moment and just put the phone down and be there. When you're on the phone with your friends, try not to scroll or text other people. If you're going to text somebody else, because it happens, you have a life. I understand that. If you do need to do that, say, girl, hold on. Somebody text me. Let me real quick. Now you have my undivided attention. Okay, girl, go on. What were you saying? You said XYZ. Okay, then what? That shows you were still listening. You did what you needed to do, and now you're back fully involved in this conversation at this present moment. All right. You also need to listen for the things that they don't say. Look at their body language. Body language is a huge determiner of what people are really feeling. Sometimes they can be closed off, and that's kind of hard for people like myself, who I sit like this a lot with my arms crossed. But that body language and that posture, it speaks volumes. It says, I'm not listening to you. I don't want to hear nothing you got to say. Get away from me. Can this conversation hurry up and be over with? But really, I don't know what to do with my hands. Ricky Bobby, I don't know what to do with my hands. So, yeah, let's try to change our posture, sit up a little straighter, look at them in their face when they're talking, look at them in their eyes. I have a huge problem with eye contact. So, I'm not just telling you, I'm telling me too. Okay, we're learning and we're growing better together, right? That's what we said, right? Okay. Don't be judging me in the comments, okay? So looking at the body language, how are they behaving? Has something changed in the way they typically interact with you? Because that can be a huge determinant of what's going on. You know that something's off, but because you've paid attention to them for so long, and let's say you've been friends for 10 years, and you notice you are the type of person who pays attention, so you already know how they act when they're upset, how they act when they're sad, but you notice them interacting differently, but it's not a usual emotion. So that's when you have to interject and say, hey, I noticed that you've been X. Is everything good? Do you want to talk about it? Or do you want to just forget about it? Because we can go out to eat. It is what it is, girl. You feel me? So yeah, you have to start asking yourself, has something changed in the way that they typically interact? And then ask yourself, okay, why would that be? I know she did this, this, this. I know something happened the other day. Maybe, and then maybe they might not want to talk about it. You have to also think about that. Give people their space when they need it. Noticing the patterns and addressing what you see can allow you to assist your friend through whatever issues they might be going through. Because a lot of us have that friend who is strong for everybody else, but when it comes to themselves, they fall apart and they just want somebody to ask them, are you okay? What's going on with you? How are you emotionally and mentally today? That is a wonderful question that I also love to ask randomly. Just ask. You never know what somebody might be going through. All right. Um, but I understand also in that fact, like we're all grown, we have our own lives, and you probably think, girl, this a lot. You talk about a whole lot. See, that's why you're not a good friend right there. Because you think it's too much. But when it comes to you, when you in a jam, you want your girls to be there for you. You want your boys to be there for you, have your back. But can you do active listening? Because real friendship requires work, hard work. Okay? You don't come upon 15, 25 years of friendship, consistent, loyal friendship, real, authentic friendship, unless you guys are reciprocating active listening. All right, I think I've done enough with that one. Be being there. Sometimes your friend needs you to be there. And not just physically being there, mentally being there. That kind of coincides with active listening, but being attentive, not just physically, emotionally, mentally. If you're dealing with something and your friend is dealing with something, but you two know that you can't be around, you don't have the capacity. I'll put it this way. You don't have the capacity to deal with somebody else's issues because you have your own issues. If you know that that's you, just say, hey, I love you. I want to be there for you, but I'm going through my own thing right now. And I want to give our friendship the best that it deserves. So right now that requires me to be on my own, to figure my own things out, and then I'll come back and check on you and make sure you're okay. A real friend would be like, you know what? Okay. I hope that everything resolves itself on your end, and I just needed somebody to vent to. I'll call one of my other homies. I'll call my mom or people that I don't. I'm just go pray about it. Physically, a lot of times we have friends that we've met over the years through college, through organizations, through community service, or what have you. And people move. So a lot of our friendships are not physical, and especially in the social media world, we meet a lot of people online. A lot of y'all have a lot of internet friends. Oh, hey friend. Yeah. Just being inboxes exchanging positive things or just saying, girl, how is your son doing? We got a whole lot of internet nephews and nieces. Okay, I know I do. But being there looks more like emotional stability, being an emotional wall for your friend to lean on when they're going through stuff. Again, long distance relationships require more of the emotional aspect, more of the mental capacity, and just being supportive in general. Um, Being there is a sign that you're not selfish. As we just talked about in active listening, you're not selfish and you're genuine and you have their back. Showing up for your friends the way that you want them to show up for you. That's the key, you know? However, if you're not the friend that needs a lot of attention, this might be the area that you might need to work. Okay? Because a lot of people have low maintenance friends that they don't want a lot of attention. They don't need you to be there a lot. They call you once every blue moon. For those people, you might have a friend who is just that friend who needs you to be there just a little bit more. I'm not talking about the super ultra clingy type of person because we got to be careful with those too. But somebody who needs you to be a friend and be there. All right? And that's okay. Just be there. When you're dealing with um how you are, don't stay in that realm of that's just who I am. That's just how I am. To not show up for people because as a friend, you will want them at your important events, your major conversations, your big days, and etc. So why wouldn't you give it to them? If you can't be there, express that. Let it be known. Don't leave them wondering. Also, don't lie and say you could come knowing doggone well you can't. Just be honest, because we all know life happens. You might have made a commitment and then 2 weeks before something happened. Baby, this is life. We get it. We I'm praying for you. I hope everything go well. We gonna miss you, but we gonna carry on now. You hear me? Okay? I think we be there. All right. C, care for them. I touched a little bit on this in the active listening. Care for them. It looks like telling them the truth, even when they don't want to hear it. I'm gonna say that one more time. Tell them people the truth, even when they don't want to hear it. Because baby, truth hurts. Truth hurts. You know the song. I ain't gonna sing it for you. Truth hurts. All right. Lies only hurt you in the end because we can all imagine any type of scenario, big or small, where somebody has lied and you're like, why you lie? What was the reason? Either I look at it two ways. Either you lied about something small and it's like, why would you lie about something so small? It's so trivial. It doesn't even matter to tell the truth. Why would you lie? Why would you choose to lie instead? And if it's something big, that's too big for you to be lying. Tell the truth because I need to know up front and in person. Okay. Oh man, y'all, don't allow others to badmouth your friends. This should be self-explanatory. However, I have seen some things and I have dealt with some people with some going through some situations. Don't let other folk badmouth your friend. If that's your friend, you stand up for them in their absence. You stand up for them in their presence as well. If you sit around and say nothing while other people talk about your friend, you're disrespectful and you're worse than the person who's talking bad about them. Lift them up when they're down. As a friend, you have to come with encouragement and sometimes a plan for your friends because some people can get so down that they can't even see straight. That's life. And you never know when you'll be in that position of being down and not knowing who's really there for you. But when that one friend shows up, baby, that's all I need is just one friend. We all need friends. For those people who love to say you can live a life alone, baby, man is not meant to live a life alone. And friendship is essential to the soul. You know, they may go through some tough situations and they need your help to see their way through, to navigate them through stuff. Sometimes you could pose a question that they couldn't even think of because their mind is so clouded by the situation. Sometimes they just need somebody to vent to. Again, that's where that question comes in. Do you just need to vent or do you want advice? Tell me which one you want so I can help you out and be there for you in the best and the fullest capacity that you need. If they just want to vent, let them go. And if they change their mind at the end and say, you know what, I do want advice. What do you think about this situation? I always start by, this is my honest opinion. This is what I've seen. These are some things that I know from personal experience. All right. Will you allow them the space free of judgment? You don't have to judge people. Sometimes it's hard to put your judgment away, but I get it. I understand. Sometimes I would never do that. Why would she do that? That's not the time, nor is it the place, nor is it your place. Because what they say, God will humble you. Never say never, because you might find yourself in the same situation. And I tell people all the time, you don't know what you will do until you're in that situation. All right. Also, if they're in the wrong, again, learn when is the right and the wrong time to say something. Don't put them on blast in front of a lot of people. Don't put them in blast in front of two people. Don't put them on blast in front of nobody. Respectfully, in the back. You feel me? Be like, hey, look, you were wrong. You know you were wrong. In the moment I had your back, but right now is the time to tell you you were wrong. All right. They might be mad with you for a week or 2 or 3 months or 6 months. It is what it is. I would rather you be mad with me with telling you the truth than to be a yes man and just go along with it, knowing morally that it was wrong, spiritually that it was wrong, mentally, emotionally, everythingly that it was wrong. In the end, timing and tone are imperative in a conversation such as this. All right. And those are the ABCs, y'all. But friendships don't rely on always having the same favorite color or favorite food or living in the same city or having the same social circle. Most friends, most friendships rely on how good and who you are to that person, for number one. Number two, the space of life that you are in, the time that you are in your life, what you're going through, the season that you are in. And if you have the capacity and the willingness for the friendship, that's the biggest one in my opinion. Do you have the capacity and the willingness for this friendship? Oh, y'all, this is the part here that I want you to pay very close attention to. Do not, I repeat, do not allow yourself to be in a one-sided friendship. If you notice more often than not, that you're the only one who does all of the work in a friendship. And I don't mean lie to yourself and say, well, I'm always calling and I'm always taking them out to dinner and I'm always doing it. Don't lie, because sometimes we get a picture in our mind and say, dog, I took her to lunch 5 times in a row. She didn't take me out to lunch. She might be broke. You know that. But you took it upon yourself to be a good friend and take her out to lunch. Don't uh don't regret it now. Just be a good friend and say, all right, cool. Well, when she gets her money and she can take me out to lunch, we'll go out to lunch. That's cool. You can hang out and do stuff for free. Find your different ways to be a good friend. All right. But back to the topic, if you notice that it is very one sided all of the time, start reevaluating then and there. Start putting the honest parts of your friendship out in the open for yourself to see. Take your time to reevaluate it. Look at it for what it actually is, not what you think it is. Because sometimes we can be, especially as women, we can be in our emotions about what we think something is or how we feel a situation is, and it not be the truth. Look at the truth of the situation. Look at the hardcore facts of it all. And if it still turns up that you're doing more in this friendship, this person just has an attitude, doesn't seem to want to be your friend, remove yourself. Take it back. Because it won't always be an even 50-50. But if the other person isn't attempting, then you need to make adjustments, sweetheart. Adjusting friend seats in your life is so extremely important. For instance, you may have friends who need to talk more in the season, who you need to talk to more in the season, or they need you to talk to them. And others you just need to talk less to them. It's no issue in that. It's just the timing of life, or as we like to call seasons. Because like fall, for example, you need to wear long sleeves, right? But in the summer, you need short sleeves. Baby, you doggone need a tube top. But don't allow yourself to be manipulated by a person who has high demands in a friendship or who gives you ultimatums. You need to be walking out of the door. If they want you to attend every single event that they have as a requirement for friendship, then you might want to rethink it. But if you want to be in that type of friendship, yeah, babe, more power to you. Go ahead. If they attempt to guilt trip you into spending more time with them often, maybe you need to pull back. You might need a release. Hey, it's been fun. It's been real. Friendships are relationships, so we need to start treating them as such. Become genuinely interested in people and learn them. Be a good friend. Show up, support, active listening, being there, caring for them. The next segment, y'all, before we go, did you know? That's what I'm naming this segment. This is the segment where we talk about random facts. Because your girl loves random facts, all right? Somebody told me they wanted some deeper random facts. I was like, all right, give me some time, okay? So, number one, most of us have followed that trend where they're like, Google this and see what comes up. And we're always shocked and appalled, right? Child, ooh, I done seen some things. But anyway, one of these things was the invention of the chainsaw. Now, if those of y'all who know, you know. But for those of y'all who don't know, here we go. So I thought I knew what was up with the chainsaws and all of that until I doggone Googled why was chainsaws invented. They done told me they was used in childbirth. I said, what? Hold on, for what? How? Why? Why would you do that to a woman? Mind blowing. Okay, so work. It's used to perform surgery and it's called, y'all help me now. Symphysiotomy. It's called a symphysiotomy. Wow. Which is just to widen the woman's pelvis for the child too. But a chainsaw, y'all, I was dead. Because baby, you ain't coming nowhere near me with no doggone chainsaw. Was they living? Did they live through it? I gotta do some more research because baby, I don't get down like that. Nah, you ain't put none of that down there. The devil is a liar. All right. Last, number two. Did you know that some two-toed sloths can hold their breath underwater for up to 40 minutes? Y'all, that means they can hold their breath longer than a dolphin. Because dolphins usually last about 15 minutes, give or take, right? But also in 2021, There was a man who held his breath for 24 minutes and 37 seconds. But, but listen, the reason he was able to do that is because he breathed pure oxygen before he went underwater. So technically he cheated because most humans can only hold their breath for like 3 to 5 minutes max. But I did hear about those people that can hold their breath longer underwater. They like mermaids or whatever. Kind of like in the Wakanda Forever movie. You know, the people. Yeah, child. But anyway, y'all, those are my two facts for today. I don't know why you would need to know that in whatever case, but the chainsaw, that thing took me clean up out of here. I was gone. All right, y'all. I hope that this has helped you and I hope that you grow better. I love you guys so, so very much. I hope you are having an amazing day. And if you're not, change your attitude, change your thinking, turn it around, babes. Put it in a positive direction. Be proud of yourself. Love on yourself. Do better, be better. And if you have not already, go ahead and like and subscribe to my channel. Okay. Leave me a comment. Tell me how you really feel. I love, love, love y'all so very much. Until next time. Bye, friends.